G'day mate, hope you can hear what I'm saying. Today we're going to replicate 372 dogs onto a 272 or g272. And I'll show you the way I do it, and it's something I thought about over a few nights. It's to do with carpentry, just tricks and making templates and gauges, but it should be a pretty simple, straightforward job. I've done this Chinese saw a few years back by laser pointer and stuff like that, but I found there must be an easier way, so I've been thinking about it. So what the go is, when you do timber work, you always have a straight edge. So to the table with a straight edge, you always do a mark on the timber and you angle a point down the bottom, and you always measure from that one edge, so you know you are in line with the work you're doing. So with a chainsaw, the only straight edge we have is the bar mount. So there's always a bar here, so I can measure off the bar. Doesn't matter top bottom, but measure off the bar. I'll probably go to the top part of the bar, so I can easily see what I'm doing. But first part we have to do is mount up the outside dog. So I'm going to have to MIG weld this up. Part of the reason for that is, I have got, hang on. The reason being, some of these bumper spikes or dogs, they're incredibly hard steel. Some of them, not all of them. Some are crap, actually crap. Now this is one that I had on a, I think it was an 046, I think. But I tried to braze it, re-drill it. The steel is so hard you can't even drill through it. So if you weld it, it'll soften the metal up just enough so you can drill it. So that's the plan. So I'll weld up that hole there, and probably that hole there, grind it back, and then I can cut this back to suit these two holes. These two holes. So once I've done that, so I've got to make sure there's no problem with height wise for the spikes sit that way, but lengthwise. So I have to get that organised. Once I do that, I can move on to the next step. Alright, do some welding to make uni-MIG. My uni-MIG going. Right. Okay, I've round this part of the dog back. I don't mean to be condescending, but if no one's done welding before, you need to know these things. Now, we want to weld that hole and this hole up, but there's paint in the hole. There's another hole there that was cleaned pretty well, but that one there's got black paint. So I want to get rid of that because they'll make it hard for me to weld, and it's just easier to do this. I got this clutch drum off a GX25 Honda that I did. We've got to throw it out. So this is protecting my bench. All I'm going to do is burn that back hole for a little bit, and the paint will burn out of it. So I thought I'd show you guys that. Just give it a heat more. I'll burn the paint out. It's a bit cold to it, right? I hit that now with a wire brush as it cools down, and I'll weld the thing up. So to do that, guys, you'll have better weld. The other part too, I would suggest, I don't have much room in my shed, 36 by 3 metres. I've cleaned underneath my bench. All the lubricant, flammable things are back over here. I'll be welding this direction, so keep an eye on where your fire goes or whatever, but don't just sit there and blast. Watch what you're doing. I've got a bit of water here. I've got a wet towel behind me, so if I do have a problem I can put the fire out. But I'm not going to just sit and blow it. I'm going to weld and have a look, weld and have a look. And this plate here is aluminium, so that your heat in this will dissipate real quick. So that's a couple of little tips for you guys. It's still warm. So now I'll clean up wire brush and weld them up, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's welded up. Okay, I want to show you guys safety goggles. I've had stuff in my eyes before, in my eyes, and I don't recommend it. It hurts. I've had bits of aluminium in my eyes, but safety gear. Well, the next step will be I'll wire brush that, just so it's clean. And this wire brush is starting to fall apart, so it's throwing bits of wire out. And I've seen these wires snapping going to people's skin, so it's no fun for anyone. If you get in your eye, you're screwed. I'll go back with you. Both sides. You do TIG welding until you clean it. Now, just to make sure that hole's clean, I'm going to run a file through there, get any paint out. That way it welds you. I want guys to experiment, muck around. It's been a fun hobby for me. Right, now I'll clean up the bench. Probably screwed that with some brake cleaner, clean off with the press there and weld it up. But before I do that, I'll get some metal and hang on, I'll get you a share with it. Now this will have to be, I'd say, the biggest tip out of the whole lot. If you're going to try stuff like this, do this first. My daughter's boyfriend, he's welding and doesn't really like the Unimig. He says it doesn't blurt the way his does work, but he uses big industrial machines. So horses for courses. Now, I'm going to weld these guys up. They're about the same thickness as the dog. And once I get my temperature settings dead right, I'll go back to welding. Just want to run a short bead. That's not even straight. You laser cut these out. I'd love to do this. Yeah. I'll run a bead in this short one to make sure I get full penetration. And once I know what my settings are, so I'm good to go, I won't be destroying this piece or cause more work for myself by grinding and grinding. But once you're set, that's good. Same as you do in bodybuilding on cars and stuff. Always check your MIG, make sure it's functioning, because I don't use this MIG very much, guys. It's sits in the shed, might be there for probably 2 years and go new. I have put a new spill and wire in there recently to help build my daughter's rabbit cage. Big thing I showed before. But I just want to make sure it works, and I can move on to the next step real quick. So I'd say this be part one, because this will take time. Alright guys, I'll weld this up. Okay, I'm glad I've done the welding test, because as I said, I haven't used it for a while. The wire feeder, the controller here, it seems to be pumping out more wire than it should. I've backed it off a heap, so I'm 2 and a bit, so I'm happy enough where it is now, but I normally run about 4, close to 5, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but it'll settle down, I think. Now, I tried it on 4, then I went to 5, for 6 it's full bore. I'll show you a bit closer. So I did try 5, but it's too hot. 4 is better, but yeah, it's just play your machine to get used to them. And I haven't used this for a long time. I think it's on 30 roll wire its whole life. So that there is 5. That's 5 there. That's 4. So you see there's more mound of wire on that. So I'll use the 4. It's not too hot. Show the back side. I'm getting plenty of temperature penetration, so I know it'll be strong. I've tried over here. That was on 3. I wasn't happy with 3. It wasn't hot enough. But yeah, my daughter's boyfriend, he gets in, he just burn the bars, just crank up the temperature and boil them up, make sure you don't blow the metal away. So that's his tip, I suppose. That's all he does all day long, is boil up gantries and frameworks and stuff like that. Alright, so now I'll move on to the dog. I'll oil that up. But the other thing I did do, because you can see the heat, it's coming into the aluminium. I don't want to burn my table, so I got these other pieces of metal and spaced it off the table as well. There's thinner ones on this corner here. Can't see, oh here they are. Thinner ones underneath there. So trying to get rid of the temperature. I've already burnt my table a long time back, and this is a 960 antique really, so I don't want to damage it. Anyway, I'll get this dog done and we'll move on. One thing I will talk about is the helmet I bought it's a Chinese helmet. I bought it really for that light. I bought another helmet which a bit of oil dripped down to the centre and it played up, so what was that called? Yes, Welding, and that was a good, it's true colour, but this is green. Now the problem I had with this when I first got it, that glass was cracked, and this one here is cracked. You can see it in the slide panel. So I complained on eBay. He sent me another one. It was cracked, and the third one's cracked. Now this is the third one. It does work, but he's got terrible packing skills. That one little thin layer of bubble wrap over the whole sensor, and that was it. And it fell out of that. It's in a like a straight plastic bag, and no bubble wrap on that. So the switch on the side here came out of the bubble bag and came around and was sitting on the glass. So it just got squashed. and the guy didn't want to talk about it. Now, what I really wanted in the beginning was that light. Now, when you're doing welding, it's sort of hard to find your tip because I'm an old bastard. So that's got a light like that. Press it again, you got that light like that. So it makes it incredibly easy for me to see when I'm TIG welding. I haven't used it for TIG yet. So you see what you're doing in the dark if you're in a car or something like that. Just trying to work it where you are before you arc up your arc. And yeah, but yeah, $44. But I wouldn't recommend using it. Can't package things. You know, you could have put some more bubble wrap, and it would have been, you know, would have been, I suppose, a few more cents. But Christ, it's just he wrecked what I thought would have been good. Because I haven't seen anyone else sell these things on eBay. But anyway, that's my thought. All right, moving on. It's funny, you try and plan for everything. Being Chinese metal, I think might be the problem. It's slightly thinner, but those heat settings were nowhere near this thing, so I turned it back down to 3 and killed the wire feed just a bit because it just got burn a hole straight through it. I can grind that back, but yeah, I have to re-weld that one just a bit. It looks like I'll zap that before I do it. But I had to grind this part here off so I could earth the thing out. I laid it down flat like that and vice gripped it to the aluminium so I could weld. But yeah, the heat was too much, is what I'm saying. But yeah, plan your job. Don't rush. Think about it. Or like me, you have to think. Go have a sleep or whatever else, but don't rush anything. If you ruin this up, you can't get another one easily on vintage stuff. But this Chinese stuff, they're easy to get. But anyway, that's my other tip. I know it's pretty self-explanatory, but all I have to do now is grind that back. But I put vice grips on these so my hands are nowhere near the grinder. You can hold it if it gets hot, you know, burn your fingers. So it gives you extra place to grab it. They're big vice grips, they're pretty tight. Just so you don't have an accident. Simple as that. I've hit my knuckles before with the grinders and that stuff hurts and it goes down quite deep, quite quick. See the scar on the finger there. Just safety, just plan ahead of yourself. Right, moving on. Come on, get back to work. Okay, by now you should have something look similar to that. There's a little dimple at the end just here, which it won't be there because I'm cutting that part off. So the hole's gone, both holes, both sides. Just take your time because no rush. Now, I can't really help you with this part. You have to work it out yourself. So that goes on like that. So you can see roughly where the hole's got to be. It'll be right here. The hole's got to be roughly. Work out where your hole's got to be. You might have to go slightly oversized, just a bit in the hole to give you a bit of play. But I normally get a hand file, a chainsaw for sharpening file, and just file it till it's just nice. But work that out. Once you've worked that out, put the side cover back on. Trying to see the dark. Put your side cover on, and you have to work out your length of your outside spike, which I got to take at least, looks like a quarter of an inch off that at least. Now this will be the one we'll be setting the hole set up with, and we'll guide from this. But once you got this up, we can then work on the inner dog. So this one's an important one because we know these what they look like and how they sit on the 372. So it's similar design here, but not the same. So it's an easy way to guide. So if you do a dummy fit like that, you look at the saw, it seems to look right. And the upper part of that dog, so hard to film this guys, eggs in the road. Upper part of that dog doesn't hit the muffler. I was going to go closer to the saw, but looking at that before, if I did that, I'd have to remove the metal off the dog, and it just changed everything. So I'm just going to stick out just a bit, and it turns out it's the same stick out as the original dog. So it's out there. There's no point going back further. So I'll stick with this. So now I'll grind this back and show you how it looks when I finish it. And I think I'll call it a quit for the video. Alright guys, next bit. Now don't be a hero. I worked in a food factory for 24 years. I always wore earmuffs and I've gone slightly deaf, but nowhere near as bad as my father, who worked in a mental institution as a psych nurse. And he's really deaf. So I don't know what causes it, but once you go deaf, you can't go back, guys, because your hearing, it's important. You can't hear someone scream for help. It's no point being around. You gotta be there for them when your kids yell or grandkids or whatever else. So hearing glasses, I'm gonna cut this part here off, probably a quarter of an inch or 3-4 mils, and check it. don't rush this. If you rush it, you can't really easily, if you're a good welder, can't easily replace that bit of metal. But I'd soon just cut a piece off, come back over, check it against the saw. If it looks the right length, I'll blend it out, clean it up. If it looks right, then I'll drill a hole and sit up there. Then I'll clean it all up and paint it. Right, onto it. I cut the part off the end of the thing, so not much. Got me enough time, can't even hear myself. So it fits there. Enough room. It fits on the flat bit there. Can't hold it the other way. So stay still. It sits on the flat part where it's meant to sit. So all I'll do now is grind around the corners to make it nice and rounded. So take these sharp bits off here on the edges here and make it look a bit more organic. So it did, I'd say 3 mils, less than 1/4 inch. It wasn't much. That was done one cut, but don't rush. I could have ground that off. That little amount came off. It could have been just a grinder. I used a cutting wheel. So these cutting wheels are nice, but just a little piece of metal. I'll do the corners now. Well, I'm happy with that. So that should be just what I want. Round the ends off nice. So put him on. I put him on so you can have a look. So it should be fine. If I have to, I can take a bit more, but I don't think I'll need to. Should be just right. That's clear enough. Yeah, so I think it'll be right. Now I'm going to work out where the hole's got to go. There's a few ways to do that, but one way is to put a bolt through the actual side clutch cover and pin down and drill through the clutch cover and make a mark where I drill bit. But I don't know if I will because this is die cast aluminium and might mark. I might try it though if I got a sharp enough drill bit. Just gets it and put a mark on it, and then I can know the hole is exactly where it's meant to be. But anyway, next part. Okay, so this is what I come with. I put a bolt through the actual chain cover, or clutch cover. I looked at the witness marks where the nut was. If you loosen this off, you can see where the nut would sit here or sit here. So it looks pretty all good. So I put the dog into the vise like that, and I had put a drill in the drill and make a mark on the metal on the inside like that. If I have to, I can then file it, but just to make a mark. I don't want to go too much because I'll chew out the metal on the cover. So just to make an imprint on the dog, and that's why I'm putting the vise so we can go straight onto it. You don't want to go angles, so straight onto it and then fit it up in the saw itself. Let's see how it fits. So we'll do it next. So like that, they have a tripod. They ain't small one there, so I can't film this. But I'll put the drill in the drill bit, a drill in the drill, and just put an indentation so I know where I am, and take it off this setup, drill through it, clean it up, check it on the 2 bolts on the saw itself. If it fits, beautiful. If it doesn't, I'll file it out so it does fit, so it feels like factory. That's what we're doing now. Now, this is what you should end up with, a tiny little mark there. Now, that's a bolt hole in the right spot. I'm not happy where the mark is, so I'll drill a little hole just above that. I want it to be in the middle of that metal, so the strongest part. Yeah, I want that in the middle. So it's very close to the middle, but it's hard to determine where you are when you put this over because you can't see where your metal is when you move it. But I want there to be more in the stronger part in the center of it. So I'll drill that and get it centerized. A little drill bit and then drill press and do it better. But yeah, I think the best way to do it. A little piece of aluminium came out here, not much, just a tiny bit. But that's what I'm up to now. Moving on. Okay, so this is what I ended up with. I got a bit of clean too, but basically right. Now I moved that hole up. I used a tool. I forgot one of the kids found it at school. No, we didn't pinch it. It was on the floor. One of these clicking points there. You put it down and leaves a mark for your drill bit. So I pushed just above that hole and centerized that more in the middle. So right in the middle, I'm happy with that. It's a bit tight going on. I'll fix it up with a chainsaw file, but it goes on, so it should be alright. Like that, beautiful. So I've got to take the back side of that higher just a tiny bit, So the fire will do that. And this will be the end of part 1. I'll clean this up with some paint on it. But then I'm going to work out how to do the rest of it. And that's pretty well easy once I'll show you how to do that. But, yeah, I'll be cutting all these spikes here off. And I'll show you how to match up this one with the inner one. That's the hard part, but once you see what I do, it's easy. It's how woodwork gets involved. But yeah, that worked out good. I'm happy with that. What do you reckon, Paul? The heat's better. Nowhere near the muffler. Really good. Alright guys, as usual, I appreciate you watching my videos. Thanks for watching.